Hi, this is James Cook of the University of Maine at Augusta, and I'm recording this walkthrough for students of mine who are trying to create an image of economic inequality through quintiles for the town in which they live. If you'd like to follow along, even if you're not one of my students, you're welcome to do so, and you could find out a little bit more about the community in which you live. It turns out that the United States Census, through American FactFinder, presents a lot of information about the place you live that you might not be aware of. So for students of mine, you have an assignment. It's called Inequality Where You Live. And I'm asking you to create a graphic depiction of income inequality for the American city or town where you live and for the United States as a whole. And then for you to talk about what that structure of inequality means, about what some of its aspects are, and about the consequence for life in the place that you live. Now, the consequences should come through three sources. First of all, elsewhere in my online lecture, I talk about quintiles, and I talk about the experience of living and how that might differ from perfect equality down to perfect inequality. Second, you have a textbook that talks all about social stratification and the consequences of social stratification. Think about that. And the third place that your reflections should come from is your own creative impulse. I want you to do a little bit of thinking about this. But I want to walk you through the technique of visualizing income inequality in the United States and the town where you live. And to do that, we're going to go to two websites, both of which my students have been to before. We're going to start with Google, and we are going to simply type in American FactFinder. FactFinder is all one word. And we'll see factfinder.census.gov. We'll head there. We'll click on Advanced Search, and then we will click on Show Me All. Be sure to follow each of these steps in detail. If you step a little off the path, you'll get something that it will be hard for you to work with. Then I want you to type in the name of a place that you know, where you live. I'm going to type in Horseheads, New York, just because it's unlikely to be a place where most of my students live. And I'm going to start to type in the word quintile, Quintile. Now that's going to give me three options, and it is very important that you pick shares of aggregate household income by quintile in order to create the graphic that I'm going to demonstrate for you. If you pick one of the others, you're going to get some other kind of information. If you want to look at those too, and you want to add to your assignment, you are welcome to do so. But I definitely want you to work, at the very least, with shares of aggregate household income by quintile. And you can do this for places that are big, New York City. You can do this for places that are small, Warren, Maine, Millinocket, Searsport. There's census data for all of these places. So I want you to make sure you've selected the right options, then hit go. And I would like you to pick, among the years that are available, the most recent, 2013. Why is a more recent year not available yet? Because it takes a little while for the United States government to take all the information about income in the United States and work through it. So we're going to click on that link for the most recent year of the American Community Survey, ACS. And look, here you go. You're able to get an estimate of the shares of aggregate household income by quintile. Aggregate means how much income overall is there, in this case in Horseheads Village, New York. Household income means it's the income of a household, a whole family or a group of people that live in a house, not just one person. And share refers to, in this case, percentage. Now, there are two columns after the labels. One is estimate and one is margin of error. We're not interested in margin of error, and as a matter of fact, when we copy and paste it over, it's not going to transfer very well. We are interested in the estimate itself, which is the percentage. Okay, and I am simply going to head to the lower right, and I'm going to left click and then drag to select just the quintile rows. And then I'm going to right click in my browser to copy this over. Well, now I need to paste it somewhere. Where? Well, let's head to the browser bar and we're going to hit sheets.google.com. Which, if you are logged into your University of Maine account, should take you to this page. If it doesn't work for you, you can go to my.uma.edu and then you can click on the icon, a three-colored triangle that will open Google Docs, and then you can start your own spreadsheet. But I suggest you do it this way. And then look for the Create New Spreadsheet button in the lower right and click it. Now, you can paste this in by hitting Edit and then Paste. And super. You'll notice there's the margin of error column gives you errors, but that's fine. I'm just going to select that column and then I am going to, under Edit, delete column C because I don't need to know about the margin of error for this assignment. What I have now is for Horseheads, New York, information about for each of the income quintiles, which you should know about if you looked at my earlier video. And this is income quintiles for a household. I have the share. Oh, I might want to take a look at those shares and see what they add up to. So I'm typing in equals sum parenthesis B1 colon B5. And that's going to tell me what the sum is for cells B1 through B5, the total. Oh, look, it adds up to 100. Those can be interpreted as percents. Good to know. It's the percent of all income, all household income in Horseheads that is earned by the lowest quintile, the second quintile, the third quintile, the middle, the fourth quintile, and then the top quintile. Let's make a chart. We'll click Insert, Chart. And you know what I think is a great chart to make for this is a pie chart, because think about how we've discussed in this class what a situation of perfect equality would look like. It would be 20% shares, equal shares in a pie chart for each quintile. Is it? If there was perfect inequality, then one color would get all the space, 100% of it. Is that what's going on? Okay, this is a great way to work with that. Look, and you've got a perfect chart right here. You've got the key all ready to go. We're just going to click Insert, and there it is. So I would like to change the chart title so that it states share of aggregate household income for each quintile, Horseheads Village, New York. And I'm even going to put parenthesis source American FactFinder. Always good. Cite your sources. Okay. Now, apparently I clicked off and it didn't work, so I'm going to type it again. It's going to say shares of aggregate household income by quintile, Horseheads Village, New York, source American FactFinder. Now I'm going to hit enter to reply like it asked. Now I have right here, right now, a great chart. I need to go get a second chart. So I'm going to go back to the American FactFinder tab. I'm going to click back to advanced search. And I'm going to head over to the left under your selections and say clear all selections and start a new search. Then I'm going to type back in again, quintile. I'm going to select shares of aggregate household income by quintile, and I'm going to type in United States. How easy is this? It's great. Oh, wow, there's a lot of them. But I'm going to get the same information, ACS estimates for the most recent year. I'm going to click that top link, and I am going to obtain the same information. The quintile rows, I'm going to right-click, hit copy, head back to my spreadsheet, and I'm going to select a different set of cells so it pastes somewhere different. Okay, great. I've got a second set of data. I'm going to get rid of those nasty margins of error that don't really transfer. I'm going to delete column K by under the Edit menu. If this is too fast for you, go back and look again, right? And if cut and paste doesn't work, think about it. You can type in this information. It's 10 numbers. It's not hard, right? And then we'll select those cells. I'm going to click on the lower left, and I'm going to drag, and then I'm going to release my click, right? Release my mouse, and then I'm going to hit Insert Chart again. And I'm going to look for a pie chart. Hey, this is great. So I'm going to insert it, and I'm going to click on the chart title, and I'm going to change it to shares of aggregate household income by quintile. Horse Heads Village, New York. Source, American FactFinder. Okay. Now, this is, boom, how many minutes was that? Not very long. You can find out about the place you live. You can compare it to, if you are an American, the country in which you live, and you can make some comparisons here. Where is inequality greater? Where is it lesser? What is the experience of someone in the lowest quintile in the United States? Oh, I said Horseheads Village over on the right. Did you notice my mistake? Right. Always look and double check. Of course, this chart here is the United States, which is not in New York. Speed should always be checked by accuracy. Great. Now, what is this where you stop? No. Do not stop here. This is not enough. Look at the assignment. The assignment asks you to label the images. Great, you did that. Include them in a word processing document. You can do that by opening up another tab, and this time type in docs.google.com. And I'm just going to show you how to transfer your image. I'm going to start here. New doc by clicking that blue button on the lower right. And it's as simple as selecting the chart, looking for that little triangle, selecting copy chart, and pasting it. Now I can enter some text, and then I can go back and I will look for the triangle. I will copy the chart. I will head back to Google Docs. I will paste. This is a really easy way to do it. Okay. What happens if it won't transfer? Well, you can save this document under File, download as a Microsoft Excel document. That's one thing you could do. You could also hit your print screen button and then open Paint in Microsoft Word and cut and paste it into Paint, because print screen creates in your clipboard an image of the screen. There are so many ways you can move these images from place to place. If you have trouble and none of those three options works for you, let me know. But this means you have to do your work in advance. You have to plan it out. Don't leave it to the last minute. And now I really want you to compare these two. I want you to reflect on the consequences of those stratification structures for the country and the local community in which you live. This is where your work comes in. This is where your reading of the textbook, you're looking at the online lectures and the videos that I create where I talk about quintiles, and your own thinking all come together. I'm wanting you to put this together. Think about that in combination with what you know about your country, with what you know about the place you live. And I want you to ruminate on that a little bit. Shouldn't be too hard if you've read carefully and you spend a little bit of time thinking. Now, one final piece of advice. Be sure to title your document. I really would rather you did not send a link to me by email for one reason, and that is I teach a lot of classes and my email inbox loads up. I'd like you to upload it to Blackboard, to the assignment location where Blackboard is. But how do you download a Google Doc? Simple. Go to File and look for the Download As link. Download it as a Microsoft Word document. That would be fine. And of course, I want your name on this. I want you to write out the text. But if you do that, you'll be fine. The technique is not difficult. The really tricky aspect that I expect you to work on and to think about so that you remember this for the rest of your life, I hope, is thinking about what these charts mean. What it means that some quintiles are bigger and other ones are smaller. To do that, you really have to master the idea of quintiles. And to do that, you need to do a little bit of studying, for which I wish you lots of luck.